Hi, Soul's Enlightenment here.
I'm Vera.
And I'm Christina. And today Vera and I wanted to bring you a Christmas special. And today our Christmas special is about the Grinch versus the giving spirit. And what we mean by that is how we act, our behavior, the energy that we put out, it affects us. Like whether we're a miserable type of a person to other people,
right,
like a Grinch,
yeah,
or if we have a giving spirit, who I think of is the ghost of Christmas Present.
Yes.
Because he reminds me,
yeah,
like the one that's on Scrooge the movie.
I love that movie. Is my favorite.
Me too.
Holiday one anyway.
Yeah, me too. And it's interesting because one of the things that we've been discovering more of through Vera's psychic ability and channeling ability is that the energy that we put out to others, it not only affects others, of course, because the energy we put out boomerangs and comes back to us, like in a spiritual sense, but it even affects us.
Or the people that do it.
Yeah, it affects the person physically.
Yeah, manifest.
Yeah, it actually, because we knew before, right, Vera, that what other people, like the stress that we get can
physically make us sick.
Manifest.
I mean, that's been around forever.
Right.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that those people who act like, let's say, constantly irate and angry and miserable.
Yeah, and we're not talking about somebody that's just grouchy every once in a while. We have a specific person in mind, and that person is like that 365 days a year.
Yes.
Not just Christmas, but
yes.
Yeah.
Like just miserable to other people. And
enjoys it.
Yeah, and this anger that he's had has physically affected him.
Yeah.
Because we know
Eventually,
yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's been a whole lifetime of being a miserable person. But it's,
but he's always kept up his health. He's always been fit. He's always been, taking care of his health, whatever.
Always in the gym.
Until
you know how you hear about, like, blowing one's top. Yeah. And so he's always constantly irate and verbally abusive to other people to where it manifested and he burst the blood vessels in his brain and had a stroke that severely affected him. And of course, this doesn't mean that everybody who has a stroke is like that person. This just happens to be how it affected him.
Yeah.
One scenario.
Yeah, because the way he charted to leave this earth was dying of natural causes. Wow. But, we have all these different ways, the exit points that we can do, and this is what manifested for him.
He brought it on himself by being so miserable. And what's really fascinating to me, you guys, is that Vera so insightfully pointed out that his speech was very affected, and that's because he was so verbally assaulting, verbally abusive, and now he can't do that anymore. It was taken away from him.
Yeah, and just remember, we're talking about one specific person.
Right. Yeah.
Everybody's different.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's not everybody. It just happens to be one example of how it can affect a person. Because, if you look at how stress affects people who are taking abuse, like, identical twins. There was a case with two twins, and both of them married a very different type of a person. And the one who was married to an abusive person, she aged so prematurely. Because, stress affects us and everything. But it was fascinating that it can affect the abuser.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you were telling us about. But then the positive side of that, what is so good for us when we have a giving spirit is that whatever we focus on, we create and bring into our life.
Right.
And the more positive and joyful that we have in our heart, the more joy, then, that even protects us, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And physically. Yeah. Because look at, like with cancer patients who have really helped, help their symptoms to go into remission through constantly watching comedy and humor and levity and all that,
Right, and looking at a positive outlook. Yeah.
So that's just fascinating, and we wanted to share that with you, and not to mention the spiritual effects of being how when we're a good person to others, how that comes back to us tenfold. And that's one of the images that I think of with my art is the angel of blessings.
That's it.
Because of the joy that she has, that we feel, we can have that joy. We have that joy when we are kind to others.
And when we give something to someone, it doesn't have to be materialistic or anything. It's just when it feels so good,
doesn't it?
And you can see like little bubbles all around everybody that in that spirit of giving. It's just so cool, huh?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So Vera and I just wanted to share that message, and having that joy, giving that to each other, focusing on the positive and the love is.
And if you're around that person, what do you do to protect yourself?
There's many things that we can do. One of the things is you can, whatever it is that helps to keep you strong and protected within yourself, whatever visualization technique works for you. Some people, when they're around a negative person, they visualize putting a purple wrap
around their mouth,
so that they won't.
You can also do a gag.
Yeah.
That works really well.
So that negative person.
Because that happened to me. I was trying to test it out when we first found out about doing the purple gag and purple light and all that stuff. And I thought, does it really work? And there's one negative person that was around us. I put it around his mouth, and he kept stuttering.
Oh,
it was like he couldn't get the words out.
He was stammering, and he was having a hard time.
That's what it was. Yeah, he wasn't stuttering. He was stammering because he was like, he couldn't get his words out. And I was going, wow.
Another thing that you can do for protection is that you can always visualize your angel, like say with my mom. My mother has an angel that Vera discovered. His name is Oscar, and he's a principality angel. So she visualizes Oscar standing in front of her, so that whenever she's around negative people, that negativity would have to go through an angel to reach her. Yeah. But whatever it is that works for you. That's interesting, because one of the things that you pointed out too is that the negativity is still there. Negative people are still there.
Yeah.
But when we don't allow it to affect us, then we stay healthy and happy, and we still have joyful holidays despite what's going on out in the world, around us with others.
Exactly.
But we want to thank you for joining us, and we wish you a very Merry Christmas.
See you later.
Bye.